You couldn't have done any more. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So yes, I'm referencing the narcissistic abusive relationship. There's not one more thing you could have done. Now that relationship ended when it was supposed to end. The relationship was on its way down. It was getting worse. It was falling apart. You were the glue that kept that relationship together. You kept on giving to a fault. You kept on thinking that tomorrow would come, and tomorrow that person you're considering, who turned out to be the narcissist, would improve, or they would magically change, or be a good person consistently. We now know that the narcissist only gets worse over time. They all become the aging narcissist. Now, each and every person who has encountered a narcissistic relationship firsthand, you know that one of the best solutions and one of the best answers to reclaiming your clarity and to reclaiming your mindset, your purpose, and everything that the narcissist stole from you is to go no contact. It's to block that person, delete them, remove them, and all flying monkeys and people associated with them. Now, if you've done that, you know it served you very well. If you haven't done that, you should consider when you are able to go no contact. But all these videos that I create and all the videos I will create over the years, they come down to one common denominator. You were abused, you were manipulated, you were targeted, you were trapped, and you were trying to fix an unfixable relationship. The narcissist sank their claws into you, their dirty fangs, if you will, and they knew that you were not going to go anywhere. So let's say that you were born into the narcissistic family. Well, then now you know that your siblings or your parents, or maybe an uncle or an aunt or somebody, was toxic. Maybe you married somebody who turned out to be the narcissist. Same thing. Maybe it was your roommate. Same thing. Maybe it was your best friend. After a period of time, you finally saw the mask slip one too many times. Maybe it's a colleague, a coworker. It could be anybody. But the narcissist is everywhere. And what they do is they burn people out. What they do is they want to trick people into believing that those people are the people who are guilty, meaning the targets, people like you or myself. The narcissist ran the planet for years, and I do mean years, I mean centuries. And they had free reign and free run, and they were drinking all of the wine out of the goblets, and they were having all the grapes fed to them while people were fanning them, and all the people were waiting on them hand and foot. Well, those days are long over. The narcissist in this day and age, which we are now in 2026 and rapidly approaching the midpoint of this year, the narcissist these days, they know that they can't do what they could do even yesterday. You see, the narcissist is falling apart. They are losing their grip on reality. They are losing their grip on the ability to manipulate people. And they're also losing their grip on the narrative, which I'm going to jump into right now. One of the main instruments of the narcissistic relationship, specifically post-relationship, although not exclusive to that, it also happens when you're in the relationship, is the smear campaign. Now, what is the smear campaign? Many of you know what the smear campaign is. For those of you who don't, what it is, it's essentially a person creating fabrications or lying about you, misrepresenting what you've done and all the contributions that you've made towards the relationship, and they are discounting all of those. And what they're doing is they're painting you in a negative light. And the reason why the smear campaign works until it doesn't is because people listen to the narcissist. People think that the narcissist has all the information and that they know what's going on, because the narcissist grooms multiple people at one point in time. You have to remember, each and every person, every single day on this planet encounters toxicity at some level. I will give you examples right now. Let's say that you are a person who has never even been in a narcissistic abusive cycle, but you're watching this video, and for that, good work. But maybe you were on social media before you clicked on my video, and maybe you got a little toxicity from social media, from somebody from 5,000 miles away from you, and you don't even know them. See, that's how narcissism goes. That's where narcissism lives. The narcissist lives in the underbelly of the world, in the underworld of the world, if you will. And the narcissist crawls out from underneath the rocks, and they lurk from around the corners. They put on different masks to manipulate different people. They pepper people with abuse. They tell fabrications, and the narcissist sits back and watches all the fireworks fly. This is what the narcissist has been doing long before you knew what narcissism was. Same with myself. But once you get the wisdom, as I shared earlier, you need to go no contact. Again, if it's not that easy for you, I understand. Get ready to create, develop, and execute your exit plan when you're ready. Every single video I've ever created has a message of belief, of inspiration, of encouragement, of empowerment, of becoming awakened and aware and educated and understanding that, in fact, yes, you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. You see, you didn't know any of these things before when you were trapped in the narcissistic abusive cycle, nor did I. You didn't realize that there was such thing as abuse over and over and over again. You didn't realize that the narcissist was stuck in their own loop. You didn't know that they were lying, they were cheating, they were stealing your money, your time, your energy, your health, and more. And you were committed. The narcissist was never committed. What they did is they did their best to keep you under their spell, to keep you working for them, to burn you out. And then what would they do? They would jettison that relationship, rinse, wash, repeat, or wash, rinse, repeat. And eventually they would find out that the new supply wouldn't live up to what you were doing, because I'm sure the new supply doesn't have nearly what you have, but it doesn't matter who the new supply is for this video. What I'm sharing is the narcissist goes through people the way you change your socks. The narcissist is loyal to nobody, they care about nobody, and they know what they're doing, which is why there's not one other thing you could have done. You could not have done any more. There's not one more apology you could have made. There's not one more dollar you could have contributed. There is not one more time you could have picked the narcissist up from work. There's not one more time you could have tolerated them hanging up on you. There is not one more time you could have handled another birthday being blown up, or another Christmas not being celebrated, or another evening you sitting checking your phone every 10 minutes to see where the narcissist is because they were ghosting you or triangulating you or claiming that they didn't have internet signal when they were out doing whatever they were doing. You see, you did everything and more, and you went above and beyond the call of duty, even though nobody asked you to do that other than the narcissist. And what did you do? You gave everything you possibly could. And you were thinking specifically in the beginning of that relationship that you were entering a two-way, loving, healthy, stable, reciprocal relationship. The relationship you were a part of was anything but that. It was the relationship from hell. And that relationship only got worse over time. As that was falling apart, you were scratching your head wondering, are you doing enough? Could you do more? Should you do more? Does the narcissist love you? Why aren't they answering your texts? Here's one for you at nighttime. Let's say that you married the narcissist and you were going to sleep. Well, what would happen? I would say 9 out of 10 times, maybe even more than 9 out of 10 times, meaning 99.99, they would be sleeping with their back to you. But not only was their back facing you, but they'd be on one of their devices. Or they would say, I'm not really tired right now, you go to bed, I'll catch up with you later. Then they would be downstairs or in a different room doing nothing but grooming new sources of supply, laughing it up. You see, the narcissist treats everybody better than you. You didn't know this back then. The narcissist wants a built-in supply source. You didn't know that back then. The narcissist blows up every relationship they ever become a part of. You didn't know that either. Now, why this video is being created is to let you know that you could not have done any more. You could have owned your own state, your own country, your own jurisdiction. You could have had the ability to fly without any help to any planet in the galaxy. You could have created your own anything, ethos. It would never be enough for this feeble-minded creature, i.e. the narcissist. Because the narcissist believes that whatever you've accomplished or will accomplish in the future, that it was their doing, or they had something to do with it, or it wasn't you, it was somebody else. You see, the narcissist will never give you credit. They will never, ever, ever say, you know what, you did a great job, I'm very proud of you. They can't do that, because for them to do that, that would raise you up higher on the pedestal and it would lower them. That's why they can't do that. That's another reason why. Think about how many times you saw the narcissist cry. Did you ever really see them cry? Probably not. Maybe, but probably not. And if you did see them cry, were they crocodile tears? Were they tears because you were going to remove yourself from the relationship? Were they tears because you were putting up a boundary and they were trying to draw you back into the web? You see, there are so many layers upon layers upon layers of narcissism to be discovered. When you peel one back, there are 6 more that need to be looked at. When you peel one of those 6 back, there are another 10 more. When you peel one of those back, there's 15 more. It goes on and on and on. And there is not one person on this planet, and there never will be one person on this planet, not one person. If you think there is, you are wrong, that has all the answers. Nobody has the answers. This is a work in progress, people. We are all trailblazers. We are all breaking new ground. We are all understanding what energy is, what narcissism is, what empathy is, what mindset is. We're understanding so much more, and we have really placed a lot of work into ourselves. And I'm referring mainly into people who are trying to pay it forward, and to those people who were trapped and or perhaps are still trapped in a narcissistic abusive cycle. I am both of those people. My belief is that you were one of the people who was trapped in a cycle. Maybe you're still in it. Any way you look at it, this is uncharted territory for the planet. Think about what I'm mentioning to you. Way back when, and I've shared this recently in videos, and please play this video to the very end because this is a very important part of the video. Way back when, there was no internet, there was no smartphone. The news was provided by snail mail, which is the US Post or Postal, or a newspaper that was outdated by the time it was thrown at your front porch, your front doorstep at 8 o'clock in the morning. Now we have information like that. That's why we are in the age of information. We are also entering the age of abundance, and we are certainly entering the age of authenticity. But all these things I mentioned to you, they equal that we, the collective, are becoming stronger, and we're beginning to realize that there's not one more thing we could have done. That relationship was going to fall apart when it was supposed to fall apart. And you could not do one thing more to change that. I couldn't either. You see, the narcissist gets to a point when you're in relationships with these toxic, and I mean toxic people. And my hope is you'll never be in one again, because you won't, and I won't either. But the narcissist reaches a point where they have the target, which was you and myself, so broken down, so beaten down, that it's not a challenge for them any longer. And I'll give you my real life example. My health had taken such a hit. I was $18,000 in credit card debt. There was a detached retina, couldn't walk. It was during the pandemic, on and on and on. Well, what kind of supply was I? I wasn't. See what I mean? That's why the narcissist will kick anybody, and I mean anybody, to the curb once they believe that that person doesn't have anything to provide, or once that person puts up a rock solid boundary, or once the narcissist finds what they deem to be a more viable source of supply. Every single person who's trapped in the narcissistic abusive cycle right this very second, every one of them is one moment away from being discarded. You may think that's not true. It's true. And I don't care if the narcissist is an aging narcissist and they're in their 90s or higher. I don't care if the narcissist is in their 20s. These people, all they want to do is inflict damage. All they want to do is pat themselves in the back and take credit for things they've never done and never will do, and they have no ability to do. And that's why it will never be enough. So no matter what you did, it wouldn't be enough. No matter what you thought you could have done, it still wouldn't be enough. That's why once you get the wisdom, you need to close the chapter of the book on these people as soon as you possibly can and continue to heal and heal properly. Once you understand that, you understand a lot. But one thing that we all go through, I'm referring to people who are targeted by the narcissist, we all question ourselves and doubt ourselves until when? You got it, until we don't. And when we don't, that's when everything, it switches. And that's when we become awakened and aware, educated and empowered. And that's when we call checkmate on the narcissist and all toxicity roaming the planet, because we don't have time for it. We don't have the energy for it. We were in a place we did not belong, which is the narcissistic fog, and we're out. Once we're out, we stay out. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful indoor Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Please provide some feedback. Again, I believe this video should be a lot easier to listen to. I know there's an echo in this space where I am, but there are no airplanes, motorcycles, etc., and there are no chances of, let's say, creatures or Bigfoot inhabiting this video. I am going to continue to do my outdoor videos. Every once in a while, I will throw an indoor video in as time permits. So for this, I will share one thing with you, and then I will go. Please continue to focus on yourself. Please be kind with yourself, be patient with yourself, and understand there are billions, with a B, billions of us who are targeted. You have made it out of the narcissistic abusive cycle. Once you're out, you stay out. Because why? You got it. Because there's not one more thing you could have done. That relationship was going to end when it ended. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Enjoy yourselves. Bye.